I used to believe love was enough. What do you want for dinner? I asked. My wife didn't look up from her phone. Anything. You always say that, because it's true. Her smile was quick, practiced. I watched her scroll. You're late again. I had work. You've been saying that every night, she sighed. Can we not do this? I said, I miss you. She paused, then said, I'm tired. That was my marriage near the end. Short words. Long silences. I worked as an operations manager. Nothing flashy, but stable. I paid bills on time. I came home early. I believed consistency mattered. When will you aim higher? She once asked. I am, I said. Slowly, that's just an excuse. I laughed back then. We're doing okay. She didn't laugh with me. Her boss became a name I heard too often. Malik booked a table at that new place, she said one night. Just you and coworkers. Yes? I asked. Is he nice? She smiled. He's powerful. That word stayed with me. Another night I asked, do you still want this? She replied, don't make everything heavy. I'm just asking. 'Cause you're scared, she said. I was. One evening, I said, you're different lately, she replied. People grow. Together. She looked at me. Sometimes apart. I felt something crack, but I ignored it. Money became the weapon. This apartment is small, she said. It's clean. My friends live better. They also earn more. Exactly. I offered comfort badly. We'll get there, she snapped. When? I had no answer. The night everything ended was quiet. Too quiet. We need to talk, she said. I sat. Okay. She placed an envelope on the table. What's this? I asked, already knowing. Divorce papers. I laughed once. You're joking. She didn't blink. I'm serious. Why? She finally raised her voice. I'm tired of being poor, I whispered. We're not poor. We're compared to where I could be. Is this about Malik? She said nothing. That silence confirmed everything. I loved you, I said. She replied, love doesn't pay. I stared at the papers. So that's it? Yes. No counseling. No waiting? I've waited enough. I asked quietly, did you ever mean it? She said, I meant it then. My chest felt empty. She stood up. He's offering me a future. And me? I asked. She hesitated. You're holding me back? Since when? I asked. Since forever, she said. Those words burned. I supported you. I said, you tolerated me, she replied. I asked, is he better? She said, he's already there. I signed without reading. Thank you, she said, relieved. For what? I asked. For not begging. She walked out. The door closed softly. I sat alone. Hearing my heartbeat in my ears, I picked up the pages again. My name looked small under hers. I felt humiliated, but also strangely calm. I thought, I gave everything, and it still wasn't enough. I realized something then. Staring at the papers in silence, my life hadn't ended. It had split, and I was standing on the wrong side. Alone, I whispered. So this is it. No answer came back. I remembered our first night here. You'll always feel safe with me, I had promised. She had said. I believe you. Now the room felt hostile. I checked my phone. No missed calls. No messages. I imagined her saying, don't wait up. I heard her voice in my head. Light, confident, already gone. I spoke aloud. I wasn't useless. The walls didn't argue, I thought. About Malik again. The way she said his. Name like it meant doors opening. I folded the papers. Carefully, not because they mattered, because I didn't know what else to. Hold, I told myself. Stand up. My legs didn't move, I said. Breathe. I did. Slowly, I felt something new under the pain. Anger. Maybe. Or clarity. I didn't cry. That scared me. I stared at the door until my eyes hurt. I understood one thing clearly. I had been disposable and I had let it happen. That night, alone with ink and silence, I learned love without respect turns devotion into a cage. I would never return. Again, CHP to the bed felt bigger without her. You can take the blankets. She had said that last night. I don't mind sharing, I replied. She answered. I do. Now the blankets were folded on her side, untouched. I slept on the edge like a guest in my own room. Every morning I woke up hoping it was a bad dream. Every morning the silence proved me wrong. I talked to myself more than anyone else. You should eat, I said once. No appetite, I answered. I sold my watch first, the dealer asked, sentimental. I said, not anymore. At home, I replayed our arguments like broken recordings. You don't push yourself, she had said. I work hard, I replied. Not hard enough. For who? For us. Yet she left anyway. One night I whispered, what else did you want from me? The room didn't respond. My phone finally rang 3 days later. You sound dead, as my best friend said. I might be, I replied. Open the door, he said. I'm outside. He walked in, looked around, and said, she really left. Yes, he asked. Did you beg? No. Good, he said. At least you kept something. I laughed bitterly. I lost everything. He shook his head. You lost her. That was everything, I said. He leaned forward. That was your mistake, I said. You don't understand. I do, he replied. You stopped understanding yourself. I snapped. She chose money. She chose comfort, he corrected. You chose her. I looked away. Same difference, he said quietly. You were more before her, I asked. More what? More alive, he said. My phone buzzed again. This time it was my mother. People are talking, she said. I don't care. I replied. She embarrassed us, she continued. She embarrassed me first. I said, you should have earned more, she said blunt. I ended the call, my friend said. Family has a way of stepping on bruises. I nodded. Later he asked, do you remember Africa? I froze. What? The project, he said. The one you turned down? She didn't want me gone, I said. And now? He asked. I said nothing. He pressed. You said it could change everything. I needed stability, I replied weakly. You needed permission, he said. That hit harder. That night I found the old email, still interested. It asked. I laughed softly. Too late, then, I whispered. Or maybe not. In my head her voice returned. You'll fail alone, she used to say. I replied out loud, you won't see it. I called my friend. Come back. He arrived quickly. What's wrong? I might leave, I said. Where? Africa. He smiled slowly. There he is. I'm scared, I admitted. You should be, he said. That means it matters, I said. What if I lose? You already lost, he replied. We sat. Quietly, I thought about comfort. I thought about humiliation. I thought about the papers still folded on the shelf. I opened my laptop with shaking hands. One way or return? The site asked. One way? I said. My finger hovered. I heard her voice again. Be realistic. I clicked purchase. The confirmation appeared. I exhaled sharply, my friend said. How do you feel? Poor, I said. Lost? Anything else? He asked. I paused. Awake. That word surprised me. I stood. Finally steady. The apartment still felt empty, but the silence no longer scared me. I whispered to myself, I'm moving. Not forward. Not up. Just away. And for the first time since she left, my chest didn't hurt as much. I wasn't strong. I wasn't ready. But something inside me opened its eyes, and it refused to sleep again. The heat hit me first. A man at the airport stall said, Taxi. I asked, how much? Depends, he said, smiling. You look new. I am, I replied. He named a price too high. I said no. He shrugged. Then walk. Africa didn't greet me. It tested me. At the guest house, the clerk asked, "How long stay?" "I don't know," I said. He nodded like that answer was normal. First meeting failed fast. A businessman said, "You bring capital." "I bring experience," I replied. He laughed. "Experience doesn't build roads." I walked out embarrassed. That night I sat on the bed and whispered, "What am I doing?" No answer came. The next day I met another contact. He said, "You foreign. People use you." "I won't be used," I replied. He smiled. "Then you learn quick." By the third rejection, I stopped calling home. By the fifth, I stopped thinking about her. That shocked me. At a dusty cafe, an older man watched me struggle with the menu. "You don't eat," he said. "I don't understand," I replied. He took the menu. "You want beans or rice?" "Rice," I said. He nodded. "Sit." We ate in silence. Finally, he said, "Why are you here?" I answered honestly, "I lost everything." He laughed once. "Good. Then nothing to lose." "I'm trying to work," I said. "People don't trust me." "You look careful," he replied. "Careful men survive. Brave men grow." "What are you?" I asked. "Tired," he said, "but not finished." His name was Samuel. He said, "Come tomorrow. Watch. Don't talk." I came at a site meeting. I spoke once. Samuel said sharply, "I told you, watch." I clenched my jaw. I was helping. "You're showing," he said. The local partner frowned. "He your man?" Samuel answered, "Not yet." Humiliation burned. Later I said, "You embarrassed me." He replied, "You embarrassed yourself." I snapped, "Everyone hates me here." "No," he said. "They don't care." That hurt more. Days blurred. I slept badly. I ate cheaply. I failed publicly. A man told me, "Go home." I answered, "This is home now." He laughed. One evening, I almost booked a return ticket. I said to myself, "You tried." Another voice replied, "Not enough." The next morning, Samuel said, "You stay." "Why?" I asked. "Because you listen now," he said. At a negotiation, I stayed silent. Samuel spoke. The partner listened. Afterward, the partner said to me, "You changed?" I asked, "Good or bad?" He said, "Real." That word mattered. Later, I miscalculated costs. The partner said, "This mistake is big." I said, "I'll fix it." He asked, "How?" "I'll cut my share," I replied. Samuel watched me closely. The partner slowly nodded. Fair. When the deal closed, no one cheered. Samuel said, "You didn't win." "I didn't lose," I replied. He smiled. "Now you learn difference." That night I realized I hadn't thought of my ex all day. The absence didn't hurt. It scared me. I whispered, "Who am I without her?" The answer came quietly. A man working. The next morning the partner greeted me first. He said, "Morning." I said, "Morning." Samuel said nothing, then handed me papers. "Read," he said. "They trust you a little," he added. I asked, "Enough?" "No," he replied. "But more than yesterday. It wasn't money. It wasn't comfort. It was respect." And for the first time since the divorce, I stood straighter without thinking to CHP, for time started moving again without asking me. At the site meeting, a rival contractor said, "You don't have the funds," I replied. "I have the plan," he smirked. "Plans don't pour concrete," I said calmly. "Neither does ego." Samuel watched me closely. Later, he said, "You speak less now. Choose words," I replied. "That is power," he said. "I took over a stalled project no one wanted. A supervisor warned me." "This one kills careers," I answered. "Only weak ones." Nervous. When workers argued over shortages, I said, "We don't steal. We adjust." One man asked, "Why not cut corners?" "Because short roads collapse," I replied. "That choice costs time, not trust." During a long afternoon, a woman joined the meeting. She said, "You're late." I said, "You're honest." She raised an eyebrow. I'm Amina. I know, I replied. You check numbers twice, she said, and you don't bribe. I don't, I said. Stupid, she said, but interesting. She became my ally by choice, not pity. One evening she said, you work like someone running. I answered, from what? Something, she replied. Or someone. Didn't deny it. Another deal fell apart. The rival smiled. Still standing? I said. Still building. He leaned in. You think morals win here? I looked at him. They outlast. Amina later asked, do you miss being soft? I miss sleep, I replied. She smiled sadly. Pain sharpens. Don't let it cut you open. That night, scrolling mindlessly, I saw her. My ex stood beside a man in a tailored suit. Caption read, New Beginnings. My chest tightened, then loosened. I didn't zoom in. I didn't type. I closed the app. That scared me more than missing her. The next morning, Samuel said, You saw her? Yes, I replied. And? He asked. Nothing, I said. He nodded. Good. At negotiations, I refused a shady clause. The rival laughed. You could triple profit. Ah, I said, and lose control. He said, You're afraid, I replied. I'm disciplined. Silence followed. Amina whispered. That scared them? Later, she asked, Why not celebrate? I said, Victory makes noise. Progress doesn't. She studied me. You're colder now. Clearer, I said. She asked softly, Do you ever regret loving her? I thought, then replied, I regret losing myself. She clinked her glass. To never shrinking again, workdays stretched. Wins stayed small, but people started asking me, Can you review this? Will you decide? Even Samuel stepped back. One afternoon, he said, You don't need me here, I replied. I still listen. He smiled. That's why you won. Later, alone. I checked my phone. A message sat unread from a mutual friend. I didn't open it, I whispered. Power feels quiet. The city outside buzzed. Indifferent. I stood taller without forcing it. I realized. Something simple and dangerous. She didn't leave a week. She left a man becoming stronger, and she would never see the end of it. The news reached me before her message did. A former colleague called and said, Have you heard? I asked, About what? Malik's deal collapsed, he said. 2 countries pulled out, I replied. That happens. He laughed nervously. Not to him. I kept my voice flat. Why are you telling me? Because your company just stepped in, he said, quietly. I looked at the contract on my desk. We were invited. You replaced him, he said. I filled a gap, I replied. Samuel later said, Power hates being shared. I'm not fighting him, I said. Samuel replied, You don't need to. Rumors came next, a partner said. Regulators are asking questions, another whispered. People are distancing themselves. I listened and said nothing. At a private dinner, an investor leaned toward me. You're stable, he said. I'm careful, I replied. He smiled. That's rarer? I asked. Why now? Because empty chairs invite new leaders, said. We shook hands. I didn't feel victory. I felt weight. That evening my phone buzzed. Her name appeared. I stared at the screen. Amina noticed. A ghost? I said, Something like that. It's answer or walk, she said. But don't freeze, I answered. She said softly, Hi, I replied. Hello? How are you? She asked. Fine, I said. A pause. She said, Africa suits you. You've been watching? She laughed lightly. Everyone has? I asked, Why now? She said, I was curious. You sound careful, I replied. I'm just checking in, she said. I said, About what? About you, she replied. I waited. She continued. You seem different. I am, I said. She hesitated. Malik's under pressure. I heard, I replied. She said quickly, "I'm not calling about him." "I know," I said. "You're calling about yourself." Silence stretched. She asked, "Are you happy?" I answered honestly. "I'm stable," she said. "I always wanted that for us."
Us?
I replied, "You wanted it fast." Her voice tightened. "You're blaming me." "I'm not," I said. "I'm done explaining." She asked carefully if I had waited. I interrupted. "Don't," she whispered. "You're cold." I'm protected," I said. Amina watched my face. My ex said, "I didn't think it would go like this," I replied. "Neither did I." Another pause. She asked, "Do you hate me?" I thought before answering. "No," she exhaled sharply. "That's worse." "I don't celebrate your pain," I added. "Then why won't you help?" She asked. I said, "Because you didn't wait when help was slow." Her voice broke slightly. "So that's it?" "That's enough," I replied. I ended the call. Amina asked, "Do you feel guilty?" I shook my head. "I feel clear," Samuel later said. "Mercy isn't weakness." "I know," I said. "But silence is distance." The next week, my company signed 2 more projects. Nothing flashy. "Everything solid," the former colleague texted. "He's losing allies," I replied. "I'm gaining responsibility." At a conference, I passed her in the crowd. She froze. I nodded politely. She whispered, "You're ahead." I said nothing. That answer said more than words ever could. CHP 6 she asked to meet in person. Her message said, "I'm in Africa," I replied. "Why?" She wrote, "I need to see you." I answered, "Tomorrow." "Public place?" she agreed. When I arrived, she was already there, sitting straight, hands folded, trying not to look small. She stood. "You look taller." "I stopped shrinking," I replied. We sat. She said, "You didn't hug me." "I'm not confused anymore," I said. She swallowed. "I didn't come to reopen wounds. You came because silence scares you," I replied. She flinched. She said, "I was afraid back then." "I know," I said. "Of what?" She asked. "Being ordinary," I answered. She nodded slowly. "I wanted certainty." "Wanted shortcuts," I said. She whispered, "I was tired." "So was I replied. "I just stayed." She looked down. "I thought you'd always be there." "Was," I said. "Until you sold the idea of us." Her eyes filled. "I didn't mean to hurt you." "I know," I said. "You meant to win." She laughed weakly. "Do I look like I won?" I didn't answer. She said, "Malik isn't who he promised." "I guessed," I replied. She leaned forward. "Everything fell apart so fast. 'Cause it wasn't built," I said. She looked at my hands. "You're calm." "I worked for that," I replied. She said, "You used to need me. I used to avoid myself," I said. "That one landed," she whispered. "You've changed." "I learned," I replied. She straightened. "I regret it," I asked. "Which part?" "Leaving," she said quickly. I asked, "Or betting on someone louder?" Her jaw tightened. "I was scared you'd stay small. I was scared I'd lose you," I said. She closed her eyes. "I chose wrong." "You chose fast," I corrected. Tears slipped, silent and controlled. "I didn't think you'd become this." I smiled once. "Neither did you," she asked. "Do you ever miss us?" I thought carefully. "I miss who I tried to be," she asked. "And me?" "I miss the version of you that believed," I said. She breathed out hard. "I thought love should be easy." "Love grows when it's hard," I replied. She touched the edge of the table. "I see you differently now, 'cause I'm not asking," I said. Her voice cracked. "If I asked now?" I shook my head. "You wouldn't respect the man who said yes." She stared at me. "You're cruel." "No," I said softly. "I'm honest." Her shoulders trembled. "I ruined something real." "Yes," I said. She whispered, "You don't even hate me." "Hate ties you close." She looked around, overwhelmed. "So what happens now?" "You go live with your choices," I said. "I'll live with mine." "It." She clenched her fists. "I built my life on noise." I nodded. "I rebuilt mine on silence." She stood slowly. You're powerful now. Power isn't money, I replied. It's not begging for love. Her voice fell. I see that too late. I stood as well. Timing reveals character. She asked, was I ever enough? You were, I said. You just didn't believe it. That broke her. Her eyes dropped. I don't belong in your world anymore. You never needed to belong, I said. You just needed to stay. She picked up her bag, hands shaking at the door. She turned. You were never weak, were you? I met her eyes. I was loyal before I was strong. Defeated, she said goodbye, I replied. Take care. She left without looking back. I sat alone. Steady, no victory rush, no bitterness, just clarity. She didn't lose me when she walked away. She lost me when she thought love was replaceable, and I finally understood something she never did. The strongest man is the one who doesn't ask to be chosen, he chooses himself. The morning started quietly. Amina handed me a report and said, this one's solid. I replied, you checked twice? She smiled. 3 times. Samuel stood near the window and said, they follow you now? They follow ideas? I said. He shook his head. They follow calm. I remembered another morning. Years ago, promise me we'll always be okay, my ex had said. I promise, I had replied. Unsure now, promises felt different at the board meeting. An investor said, expansion is inevitable, I asked. Sustainable? He nodded. Because you move slow. Slow lasts. Later, alone in my office, I stared at the city. I whispered, this cost me something. The silence answered, everything you refused to become. Amina joined me. She asked, do you ever feel empty now? I said, I feel full without noise. That's rare. She hesitated. She's here. I didn't ask who. I said, where? The conference hall, she replied. Back row. I said nothing. She added, do you want me to block access? No, I said. Let her see. On stage, I spoke plainly. We didn't build fast, I said. We built right. Applause came steady, not loud. I didn't search the crowd. Afterward, Samuel said, you could have crushed competitors. I didn't need to, I replied. He smiled. You outgrew them. As people shook my hand. A familiar voice said softly, congratulations. I turned. She stood there, composed, eyes tired. Thank you, I replied, she said. You look at peace. I am, I said. She nodded. I'm not. It's not failure, I said. That's learning. She looked surprised. You don't blame me? I stopped handing out power, I replied. She swallowed. I remember our old place, so do I said. Do you miss it? She asked. I miss believing, I replied. She smiled sadly. I traded belief for safety. And lost both, I said gently. She lowered her eyes. I see your world now. You're seeing your reflection in it, I replied. She laughed once. You were always stronger than me. Became stronger, I said. I wasn't born this, she asked. Is there room for regret? There's room, I said. Not residence, she breathed out. I won't ask. Thank you, I replied. She stepped back. Take care, you too, I said. She walked away into the crowd. I didn't follow. That evening, I returned home, not the old apartment, a place with light and quiet. I made tea the way I liked it. Strong, honest. My phone buzzed. A message from my mother said, I'm proud of you, I replied. I'm at peace. She sent a heart. Samuel called and said, you still hungry? For food? I asked for meaning, he replied. I smiled. I eat daily now. That night, sitting alone, I reflected. Pain taught me discipline. Love taught me boundaries. Ambition taught me patience. Africa taught me purpose. I thought of her first words that broke me. I'm tired of being poor, I whispered. I'm rich and quiet. In bed, I stared at the ceiling. No racing thoughts. No need to prove. I wasn't chasing anymore. I was building forward. Somewhere far away. She was watching. I felt it, but I didn't turn around. The past no longer pulled. Justice didn't come with punishment. It came with distance, with becoming, with choosing myself when no one else did. I closed my eyes and breathed steady from ruins. I didn't build revenge, I built a life. She chose money, chose survival. Africa gave me purpose, and I never begged again.